All right, let's just see how this, this does. It's the first time I've used it. This thing does work great. Okay, it looks like I want the machine in there and you on the right side of that picture. There we go. Now, what do you want to...
Does it do audio?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's recording. I might...
Oh, I'll just start talking.
Go ahead.
Hey, we're welcoming you to the Turkish Trade Center in Elk Grove Village, Illinois, which is kind of ground zero for machine tools and machine tool parts in North America. I want to do an introduction of the KARMETAL double column, double miter, horizontal bandsaw. So 560, as with most machines, is the millimeter capacity, left and right, and I'm going to point out a few unique features. The KDG model is a model that the bow of the machine will pivot to the left and right. So for instance, if you're a steel fabricator and you don't want to schlep around moving your structural steel, being able to go both ways with the mitering cut is a big advantage. This is a solid horizontal vise where essentially the blade guide and the clamp will come in and hold the material. This is a double column. As you can see, one of the things that maybe is an upgrade over some other machines is the use of the linear motion ways, not only for the vertical, but you'll see these on in the chip market on vertical machining centers, also on the guide for the blade holder. So if you look down, it'll go 45 degrees, canted in this direction or swung in this direction, and it'll turn around and go 60 degrees. So any of those angles between left and right. This machine comes with a vertical clamp in addition to the horizontal clamp. So from our standpoint, the blade tensioning on the back side, cable tracks, keep your things out of the way. Down below here, you'll see that they're using Mitsubishi PLC and inverters and available electrical components, which we could go down the street and buy locally here in Elk Grove Village. So also there's a bevel gear drive here. And a bevel gear drive is a little bit better than like a spur gear drive because it delivers 90% efficiency with more contact area for the motor and the turning of the wheels for the saw. We have two motors out here for the swarf brush and also for the auger style chip conveyor. So gas shocks to lift the whole frame up on the saw. This saw is equipped with carbide rollers for the blade and a pretty hefty 2+ inch blade on the machine. Over here on the control, like I said, we've got a regular controller and then the power unit on the base. So 560 millimeter, that's 22.8 inches in capacity, vertical and horizontal.
All right, great. Now we're doing the Vanna White over here too now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Righty.
Okay, this is KARMETAL's automatic saw. The other one we saw was a semi-automatic. The automatic means that the features of the feeding are built into this machine. The stock size, we have two here on the floor. One is 280 millimeter, the other one is 340 millimeter in its capacity. The saw comes equipped with vertical clamp for bundle cutting, so things that are broad, I guess walking around to the back side of the machine would be a good thing. So we have essentially a clamp, hydraulic clamp for the tubing, or especially tubing that you would bring in, and the vertical clamp. And then when it advances, it's done by servos. So it's more accurate than strictly a hydraulic feeds and hydraulic advance. So it would be bringing the material forward. In addition to the machine, this one will have a in-feed table that's got these same vertical clamps to keep things so they're essentially not flopping all over the place. So this is also the same bevel drive that we just looked at in a feed motor here for the auger drive. This is a 90% bevel drive to deliver 90% efficiency to the head. Now this machine, in addition to the hydraulic or the electronics being same sort of this is a LS inverter. We've got Schneider relays, all domestic parts, LS, another LS inverter. And so this sometimes comes with a Mitsubishi, sometimes with an LS. This is a PLC control, selection of different materials. So the PLC will give you up 50 program storage on the machine. The 340 millimeter and the 280 are, I think 280 is a little over 11.8, and the 340 is 13. So I will give you the actual, I just didn't remember it offhand. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you may want to do just a voiceover depending on how that came out.
Depending on how that goes.
I'll tell you, I'm in love with this camera. Normally you go walking around with a video camera and it's...
Yeah, we can do this one here too. Yeah. This is the same one as what you have there. So this is the KARMETAL 220 KDG. The KDG is the double mitering side, so it would be a DM series with being able to miter both ways. The power unit and the drive, essentially the vertical, to be able to control your drop on the vertical side. The coolant's under here. Positioning of the saw. Oh, we're still bolted down because it's shipping. So essentially, that would open up the
shipping plate still on
the shipping thing. Our this particular saw is equipped with a power vise. This is a pneumatic power vise, so you can actually flip the switch. Controls over here on the side for the on-off and the drop of the bow down. So this is our model that's economically priced. Here's a readout of what the degrees when you pivot the table and the bow. Our loosening of the clamp, the coolant coming in and out, the being able to change your tensioner for the blade tension. So those are also with the gauge for it.